In West Africa, a new political and military figure has captured the attention of millions, especially the region's restless youth. He has stood up to Western influence, shaken the balance of power across the Sahel, and become a symbol of resistance and independence. His name is Ibrahim Traoré, a young Russia-backed captain who now leads Burkina Faso. But how did a man in his early 30s rise from the ranks of the military to become a national leader? What does his leadership mean for his country and for the entire African continent? Born in 1988 in the town of Bondoukoui in western Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré came of age during years of instability. He joined the army in 2009 and quickly gained respect for his discipline and tactical skills. He served in the country's north, where extremist violence had become widespread. Traoré played a key role in anti-terrorism operations and also participated in United Nations peacekeeping efforts in neighboring Mali. This experience exposed him to the growing influence of jihadist groups and the limitations of international intervention in solving Africa's security crises. By 2022, public frustration in Burkina Faso had reached a boiling point. The government was struggling to respond to worsening attacks by Islamist militants. In January of that year, a group of military officers, led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, overthrew President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore. Their promise was to restore security and bring order to a nation in chaos. But Damiba's leadership fell short. Despite launching military campaigns, jihadist groups continued to control vast areas of the country. By September, about half of Burkina Faso was in the hands of extremists, including affiliates of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. That same month, Captain Ibrahim Traoré led a second coup. With growing support among younger officers and the public, he removed Damiba and became the new leader of the country at the age of just 34. His rise was rapid, but it was not without purpose. Traoré immediately began reshaping Burkina Faso's alliances. In a bold move, he expelled French troops and diplomats, signaling the end of the country's reliance on its former colonial ruler. For decades, France had played a powerful role in Burkina Faso's politics and military affairs. Traoré's decision to sever ties reflected a growing sentiment in the region, a rejection of foreign influence and a desire for self-determination. In France's place, Traoré turned to Russia. Russian military advisors and the Wagner Group, a controversial paramilitary organization, were welcomed into the country. While their presence has sparked international concern, many Burkinabe view Russia as a more respectful and reliable partner. Traoré has since attended high-level summits in Russia and encouraged further Russian investment and support. His leadership style and speeches have struck a deep chord with the youth. Many view him as a revolutionary figure, someone willing to stand up to global powers and reclaim Africa's dignity. His popularity extends beyond Burkina Faso's borders. In countries like Mali, Niger, and Guinea, where anti-Western sentiment is also on the rise, Traoré is seen as a beacon of hope and change. Comparisons have been drawn between him and Thomas Sankara, the charismatic leader of Burkina Faso during the 1980s. Like Sankara, Traoré rose to power young, promoted Pan-Africanism, and gained admiration across the continent. In April 2025, Traoré faced his biggest challenge yet, an attempted coup allegedly backed by individuals in neighboring Ivory Coast. The plot was quickly crushed by loyalist forces, and Traoré emerged even stronger. Yet despite his growing influence and firm grip on power, Burkina Faso's problems are far from over. In May 2025, tragedy struck the town of Djibo when an Al-Qaeda affiliate killed nearly 200 people, including civilians and soldiers. Though the government has intensified efforts to combat terrorism and crack down on financing for extremist groups, security remains fragile. Even with the support of Wagner fighters, progress has been slow. Experts have noted that the Russian paramilitary has not been particularly effective in eradicating insurgent threats. In neighboring Mali, jihadists captured an airport and posed in front of a presidential jet, a chilling reminder that extremist forces are still capable of bold, destabilizing attacks. Still, Russia's influence continues to grow in the region, and Traoré remains a central figure in this geopolitical shift. He has made numerous public appearances with Russian leaders, including at the Russia-Africa Summit and commemorative events celebrating victory over Nazi Germany. His alliances suggest a long-term commitment to repositioning Burkina Faso as a nation independent of the West and aligned with emerging powers like Russia. But while Traoré commands growing regional influence, his country continues to suffer deeply. Economic hardship is widespread. Millions of people face food insecurity, displacement, and lack of access to healthcare and education. Infrastructure is underdeveloped, and public services are weak. Critics argue that while Traoré is focused on diplomacy and military reform, there has been little visible improvement in the daily lives of ordinary Burkinabe. His leadership has raised important questions. Is he truly a visionary reformer, or just another strong man in a military uniform? History offers cautionary tales. Leaders like Libya's Muammar Gaddafi once came to power promising justice and independence. Over time, however, Gaddafi consolidated power, ruled through fear, and left behind a fractured nation. Many now wonder whether Traoré will follow a similar path. His supporters argue that he is different, younger, more grounded, and more in touch with the struggles of the people. His speeches speak of unity, pride, and a better future. He calls on African nations to stand together, reclaim their resources, and reject exploitation. Whether his vision will translate into real change is yet to be seen. For now, Ibrahim Traoré stands as a symbol of Africa's changing political landscape. His rise has inspired hope, debate, and fear in equal measure. He challenges global norms, builds new alliances, and gives voice to generations long ignored. But leading a nation in crisis requires more than charisma and courage. It demands hard decisions, effective governance, and a willingness to face complex realities. Burkina Faso's future, and perhaps even the future of Africa's independence movement, rests in his hands. Whether he rises to meet the moment or falls into the same traps as his predecessors will shape not just the fate of one country, but the course of a continent.